Waking up without hearing the radar sound go off my phone has certainly been a game changer for me. I average around a 90 sleep score, and not being ripped out of a fantastic dream to the sound of my alarm has certainly helped me get there. So in this video, we're going to discuss how you can replace your phone alarm and how to naturally wake up on time. The first and probably the best product you can use if you need some sort of way of waking you up without using an alarm is to use a wake light. Now, the way I do this is I have a lamp set up next to my bed that automatically turns on when I need to wake up. So, for example, if I'm trying to wake up at 7 a.m., then I might set my smart light next to my bed to naturally start to increase in brightness from about 650. So for the 10 minutes, it's going to start gradually increasing in brightness. What this does is it makes your body think that the sun is coming up. And because your eyes actually do receive light, even though your eyes are closed, what's going to happen is that your eyes are going to notice that it's getting a little lighter, the sun is coming up, it's probably time to start waking up. Now, if you're ready to get up and you notice the light start to come on even a little bit, it'll wake you up and you'll be up and ready to go. But if you're deep in sleep, rather than the alarm going off and just pulling you straight out of sleep, what's going to happen is the light slowly goes on, you slowly wake up and you slowly come out of that sleep, so that when it gets to 7, when that light is at full brightness, you're up and ready to go. Rather than just getting ripped out of sleep, you can slowly and gradually wake up. And this is a far nicer way of getting up than getting up to the sound of an alarm. The other good thing about this is, I'm sure you've noticed if you have your room properly set up, to be fair, and you have your room completely dark, completely pitch black, what happens is when you do wake up is you don't know if it's still nighttime, you don't know if it's still dark, and because it's so dark, your body thinks it's nighttime. When you have the light on, your body kind of thinks the day started, it is daytime. It's a lot easier for you to get up and get out of bed because you have that light on. The caveat to this one is that it might not always wake you up. If you're a really deep sleeper, or if you're just really deep in sleep, you're deep in REM sleep, then this probably isn't necessarily going to pull you straight out of sleep. This is particularly helpful when you're in that light sleep or you're not in full deep REM sleep to help you get up and ride. So you might need an alarm at the very, very end. Let's say you're getting up at 7, you have an alarm set at 7, but you have the light gradually rising for 15 minutes prior. What's going to happen is it'll pull you out of sleep if you are in that light sleep. But if you're in that deep sleep and you have to get up at 7, you'll still eventually wake up for the alarm. But at least for maybe 60% of the days, you're going to wake up more naturally. It's going to feel a little nicer than the harsh alarm. What I would pair this with is the second thing that you can use as a replacement for your alarm clock, and that is some sort of vibration to wake. So for example, I have like a Whoop here. You can, any smartwatch will probably do this, or any smart mattress probably does this as well, is that if you're trying to wake up at 7, you set the alarm for 7, it's going to vibrate to wake you up. This is a lot less aggressive than a phone screaming at you to wake up. When you just have that vibration, it'll pull you out. It's not quite as aggressive. So I would pair the smart light with the vibration to wake. So getting up at 7, 6:45, the light starts slowly coming up, slowly pulling you out of sleep. And if you're still not awake by 7, then the vibration will wake you up. Way better than the alarm clock, getting screamed at by an alarm. Now, if you are a really deep sleeper, or you think I definitely need an alarm clock, use an alarm clock. Don't use your phone. We don't want our phones in our bedroom. If you're someone that has a tendency to wake up and start scrolling straight away, how can you do that if your phone's not in your bedroom? You can't. If you're the person who has a tendency of scrolling before you go to bed, but your phone's not in your bedroom, you can't do it. The phone is an incredibly distracting, stimulating thing that also provides blue light. It's not something that should belong in your bedroom. We don't want our phones in our bedroom. And for a lot of people, the excuse they say to themselves to keep the phone in the bedroom is that they need the alarm to wake them up. If you need an alarm, if you need an audible alarm, use an actual alarm clock. Do not use your phone. We don't want our phones in our bedroom. So Those are the three things that I would use. You can realistically pair all three. I would probably pair number one, which is the smart light, with number two, which is the vibration to wake. But if you really think that you need the alarm, then get a real alarm clock. Do not use your phone. It is not a good idea to have your phone in your bedroom. Real quick, if you would like to reach peak performance, I've left no stone unturned to giving you everything you need, including an entire course on how to get incredible sleep. So if that is at all interesting to you, I'll leave a link in the description below. So now that we've covered the replacements for an alarm clock, how do we actually just wake up without anything? To be honest, I don't use any of those products. I use none of them. I just wake up when I naturally need to get out of bed and when I naturally need to wake up. This is going to be the best way for you to get up, and it's going to be the best thing for your sleep. Now you might be thinking, well, I can't do that. I don't have time. Well, we'll see about that. I reckon there's a few things that you can do to probably get out without needing any sort of alarm, or if you do, it's very much precautionary, just in case for some reason I way oversleep. First thing you have to consider is, do you just need to go to bed earlier? If you can't get up, if you can't naturally rise, it's probably because you're not getting enough sleep. Because your body will naturally sleep until it doesn't need to sleep anymore, and then it will wake up. If you need an alarm to wake up, that's probably because you haven't been sleeping enough and you need to get up because you went to bed too late. So for most of us, we need between 7 and 9 hours of sleep a night. Now you have to factor in the fact that you're not going to fall asleep straight away. You're probably going to wake up at some point during the night. So you probably need to add an extra hour to that bed. So time in bed is probably going to be somewhere between 8 and 10 hours. If you're not spending between 8 and 10 hours in bed, chances are you're probably not getting enough sleep, and you're probably going to need an alarm to get you out of sleep because you went to bed too late. So if you can go to bed an hour or two earlier, that allows you to rise naturally and just get up when your body was designed to get up, that is going to be the first place to start. Second thing we can do to rise naturally is just to be consistent. Be consistent when you go to bed. Be consistent when you wake up. This is really, really important. For a lot of us, what happens is we're really great during the week. Okay, Monday night, bed at 10 p.m. Wake up at 7 on Tuesday. 10 p.m., 7. 10 p.m., 7. Friday night rolls around, 4 a.m. You're out at a club. You're still there with blaring music in your ears, okay? And then you try and go to sleep, and then you wake up at 12 p.m. the next day. And then Saturday night, you're up till 2 a.m. And then you wake up at 11 a.m. on Sunday. And then Sunday night rolls around, you try and go to bed at 10 p.m. and your body's like, well, we've only been up for 11 hours and you go to bed at 4 a.m. now, so I'm not going to sleep. And then what happens is that it throws you off. You need to wake up to the alarm on Monday, you're tired, and then you just have to sleep more because you're trying to catch up, and then you need another alarm to get up on time, and it throws you out. It just completely throws you out of your rhythm. What you should do is, first of all, you should try and not be up at 4 a.m. But I understand you have to live your life. If you do have these big nights, this is when you set your alarm. This is when you try and wake up at the sort of time you would have woken up otherwise. You have to concede the fact that if you're up at 4 a.m., you're going to have a pooper the next day. It's going to be a shocking day. You just have to accept that fact. And rather than waking up at midday, just have a tired day. Have a day when you don't feel so good so you can get to bed on time the next day. So you're really exhausted, fall straight asleep, and then you're waking up back in your usual time. If you're constantly shifting around your time schedules all the time when you're going to sleep and when you're waking up, your body isn't in that robotic state where it goes sleep, wake, and you can start to rise naturally. Because when you get out of these routines, this is when everything starts getting out of balance. You start having to sleep in later. You start needing the alarm to actually get on time. This is where the whole problem comes from. So try and keep your bedtimes and your wake times as consistent as they can possibly be. At the bare minimum, just try and wake up at a relatively consistent time every day. Last thing we can do is just get some sunlight in your eyes in the morning. Now, I don't mean stare directly into the sun, but go outside within your first 30 minutes to an hour of waking and just go spend 20 minutes out in the sun. Get some sun just in your eyes. Don't wear sunnies. Just go out, keep your head up, get some sunlight into your eyes. What happens is this is going to set your circadian rhythm. This is going to allow you to fall asleep on time. It's going to allow you to wake up on time. It's naturally setting your rhythms. If you don't have your circadian rhythms set, if they're all off whack because you're waking up, going to bed at different times, you're getting up and you're just in a dark room staring in front of a screen, you're not going to have good circadian rhythms. It's going to be hard for you to fall asleep, hard for you to wake up. We want to be able to rise naturally. We don't want to need these alarms. If we do have them, we know which alarms to use. But try to set great circadian rhythms. This is A, going to come from just the consistent wake and sleep times, but B, you can get some sunlight in the eyes in the mornings. That's also going to help you set circadian rhythms. So that's how you can wake up on time without an alarm. If you are using an alarm, use better choices. Choose something like the smart light. Choose something like the vibration to wake. If you need an alarm clock, use a real alarm clock. Don't have your phone in your bedroom. Try to wake up naturally if you can. Try to get consistent sleep times. You might need to go to bed a bit earlier. Try and get a bit of sunlight in your eyes in the morning. Try and wake up naturally. Trust me, it's going to be a game changer. It's going to significantly improve your sleep. If you improve your sleep, you're going to improve basically every other area of your life. It's such an important thing to optimize. I cannot recommend it highly enough. That was the end of the video though. If you liked the video, if you got some value out of it, then please like and subscribe. There's probably a video somewhere around here that you might be interested in, so I'll see you in one of those.